All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. And I have a very, very special guest. And I actually have a banner up that shouldn't be up yet. But
Don't worry about that.
we might just have to just dive right into that one because
You gotta do
everybody's going to
that.
want to know, right? But I want to introduce you first. This is Russell from the Mad Watch Collection. Your former name was the Idiot's Guide to Watches.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, Joe.
Hello, Russell, and welcome to the
Hello.
channel.
Hello, Philadelphia. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be on Average Joe Watch Reviews. I love the channel, my man.
Thank you so much. I'm a big fan myself, which is why I reached out to you and wanted to do this live collab. And it looks like we got 5 people in the chat. So I want to welcome everybody.
It's going to be busy.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you want to just dive right on in, bud?
I'll dive in. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. As promised, I did have this last, but since I already showed it, let's just dive right in. Did you guys know that Russell features music on his channel from his actual band, which is also on Spotify?
That is true. That is
true.
Spotify. Those streams that I get 0.0000001 pence per stream. I am rolling in the money. Yeah. So yeah. When I was younger, I was in many bands. I was in a great band called the Rebs, and yes, I'm a solo artist at the minute. Still, currently, I'm not performing live, obviously, because of the so-called what's it going on outside.
Right.
But yeah, right. The reason why there's music on my channel, my music's on the channel, was I was scared of copyright, Joe. So I thought, let's get all my music on.
You got to worry about that, man.
Exactly, man. And the only one I can tell off is me. So yeah, that's why there's music on. Plus, it's catchy, isn't it?
It really is, man. That's excellent. It is really catchy. And so when you have a certain part in your episode where it says, get your watches out, that's you, right? Get your watch out.
Well, the mystery and the magic. Yes, it is me. Yeah, get your watch out. Yeah, it was. Obviously, I record demos and I do stuff, and I've got software to do that. And yeah, I just did get your watch out. I'll try and do different phrases that be catchy and memorable for the show. And instead of, oh, what I'm wearing on today is, no, there's someone from the background go, get your watch out. What's going on? And they sort of stops me mid-sentence.
Right.
But I did that at the start, and I can't stop it now. I cannot stop it. I've got to keep going, even though it is annoying maybe to the watcher, but I've got to keep it going. And I'll have it on a mug. If I can have it on a mug or have it on a t-shirt, get your watch out. And I can bring that out whenever.
My fiance, she's on. She said you have a great accent. So
thank you very much. Well, a lot of people
I might have to practice.
Hello, love. How you doing? You right? No, so I'm from Southampton, but over the years, a lot of people have mentioned that I sound from London. I sound like I'm from London, you know what I mean? But I've got a Hampshire accent, a Hampshire.
Hampshire,
yeah,
okay.
That's the big part I'm in, and then Southampton is the city. But yeah, so thank you very much to your wife for my accent, and I've tried to be as polite as I can on this show.
Well, that leads me to the next topic that I wanted to get into, which is, can you just basically go into what your channel's all about?
Well, first of all, it's about things that I love. So the watches that I love. I just feel like, for me, YouTube watches. I've been watching YouTube watch reviewers for a hell of a long time, and there's so much information and there's so many intelligent guys out there. And I thought, you know, sometimes maybe just just a couple of people might want a bit of entertainment as well. And I try and give a bit of light relief to maybe not serious issues, but, you know, a hobby that, you know, we all know that everyone is a really nice guy, you know. These guys, these YouTubers, you know, they talk like this and then they get to YouTube and it's the caliber 613 said, and I think, and it's like, and I think, oh, just relax, my friend, just relax. And I think that's what really drove me to do it, because I thought no one's there might be a reason for this, but no one's trying to do the entertainment side as well. So I wanted to try and give 50% you come for the watch, and 50% maybe you might come for me, watching me being an idiot. But so you get informed and entertained at the same time. Right. That was the whole idea of it. Well, we were talking yesterday about my first videos, and God, this embarrassing. They are embarrassing shows, Joe. I
think we all have those, because when you first start, you have no idea what you're doing, and the sound quality is going to be bad, the lighting's going to be horrible. Yeah. And you're gonna have like for me, my first video was literally done with a cell phone, and one hand on the cell phone, one hand with the watch, and it was. I mean, people were literally vomiting in the comment section. So then you have to invest in different equipment so that you can keep it all still. So I could definitely relate. Looks like you're getting some love down at the bottom here in the chats. You got Jay City Review saying that your channel is very entertaining and unique.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, man.
Awesome. I will definitely. I can definitely agree with that. My fiance says that you are now at the top of the YouTuber list. Great energy, and it's only 12:04 here in the coast of the United States, and it's 5 o'clock.
It's 5:04 here.
5:04 where you're at.
Pitch black here now.
We have a gentleman here, a good friend of mine, somewhere in time, Adrian Sales. Not sure if you're familiar with him.
No, hello, sir.
Guys, subscribe to his channel, Mr. Adrian Sales. He's actually out in the UK, so he actually might be a neighbor of yours. So
you have to tell me where he lives.
Well, if he wants to put it in the chat so everybody knows, and we can all stalk him.
As well.
Yeah, you know what? He's a rocker as well. And I didn't want to mention this, but I'm going to. Spoiler alert, he actually did the new introduction music to my channel. Whoa. I haven't released it yet. I have not released it yet, so look out for that. But this isn't about me. This is about you, bud. So
it's your channel. You go for it.
We're going to keep on rocking. So let's get to the next question, which is, where does your passion for watches come from?
It's a great question, Joe, isn't it? It's a great question.
Thank you.
I
thought that one myself.
Yeah, it's good. Well, anyone that has watched my YouTube channels, my shows myself, it spawns back from early age. So I'm an 80s child. I'm an 80s boy. I'm a Back to the Future boy. You know that film, that small film. I'm a Casio CA53W boy. I'm a James Bond Roger Moore boy, a Rolex Submariner 5513 boy, and growing up through the 80s, watches like that I just loved them. I've wanted a watch on my wrist ever since I can remember. It all spawned from digital, so it was all digital watches when I was young, and the likes of Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd's Seiko is amazing voice recorder watch, and there's an amazing watch I always wanted, which was the 007. I don't know if it was a Seiko, but it was like a TV watch. In the 80s, there was this watch that he could see CCTV.
Yes,
he could watch video.
I actually did a video on that one. Yeah, from Seiko. They were a couple $100, man.
I thought that I want that. Mum, can I have that? And every Christmas, never got it. But that is, from then on, I was just absolutely smitten over watches. And I can see through the years on my family photos that I've always got some sort of digital watch, probably a Casio F91W or one of those watches on my wrist. And I was a bit geeky. As a kid. I had a very high forehead. It's covered by the hair at the minute. So
now, is that hair or is that a wig?
It's definitely definitely hair. It's hair, of course. Yeah,
I had to
I'm
do
not
that,
gonna.
man. Come on.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's stuck on. Yeah, it's on. Don't worry. So yeah, and obviously I had unmanageable hair as a young child, and I had glasses. So I've got contact lenses at the minute, but
Oh, wow.
I was pretty good at sport. I was the bridge between a geek, a major geek, and cool because I was good at sport. So, I could dip my feet into the geeks, into the geek brigade, and I could dip my feet into the cool kids because I was good at football and sport.
Right.
So I was in quite a privileged position.
Okay.
If it was getting too hot in the geek side, I'd get straight to the cool side. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
We have a question. We actually have a question in the chat section. Sorry to interrupt you. From Glenn Reynolds. He said,
Glenn.
You said your tutor was your second grail. What is your third?
Well, Glenn is a favorite of mine, definitely on this channel. He did the logo to the channel. Big up to him, mate.
Very good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for watching, man. Third is a Omega Speedmaster. That's what it is. That's what I'm after now. Is I've always, since I knew it was around, since I knew about the, when Tom Hanks went up into space, since I knew that it was Omega that had the first watch on the moon, or, to do with the Apollo missions, I want an Omega Speedmaster, and a manual wind chronograph. It's just an absolute beautiful watch.
Guys, if you haven't seen Russell's new review of that Omega Seamaster with the exhibition case back that has the moon and the Earth is actually rotating in real time, and then you also have little Snoopy on his rocket ship going around as well. I've never seen anything like that.
It's crazy. It's awesome.
If my fiance is still on, that is on my list.
Don't look at the price. Don't look at the price.
Don't look at the price. Yeah. We'll go into debt for that one. That one is neat indeed.
Yeah, it's a special watch.
So we have a comment down here. Proper musician's hair growing on there.
Well, listen, when I was in my prime musician, I'm embarrassed to look back at my hair. There was no, I don't know what I was doing. It was huge. It looked like Darth Vader's helmet. That's how big it was. So yeah, just look back. If you go on Google and you type the Rebs, REBS, you can see how big the hair was.
I'm going to check that out. I'm not going to do it now and embarrass you. I'll do it later in private. Okay. we have a buddy of mine. He's actually one of my neighbors, Andrew. He has a question for the panel. So he wants a new watch and he wants the best recommendation. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Russell, to answer that question for him.
Well, listen, I need to know Andrew. I need to know his lifestyle. I need to know, what does he do for a living, Joe? What's he up? What's his lifestyle?
Okay. You know what? That's actually, I'm glad you said that, man, because that actually can bring us to another topic. But I'm not gonna. We're still gonna answer Andrew's question. But let me find this topic here. Here we go. It's funny how you led into that. Watches and work profession. So, Mr. Andrew here, he is actually in sales.
Okay.
So I believe it's appliance sales. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew. He's got a lot of energy like you. So that's why I wanted you to answer this question, because I think personality has a lot to do with it as well. So someone that has like a lot of energy, definitely a presence, and he's also in sales. So what would you recommend?
Well, listen, I mean, I definitely go for automatic, because if you're energetic, then you are powering up that watch. So,
like a kinetic? Kinetic, maybe?
Kinetic, yeah. You could do kinetic, yeah.
Kinetic is based off of energy. If the more energy you put into the kinetic,
that is true.
Yeah. But automatic would also be good too.
Yeah. So one of the two. I mean, he goes in sales, so he can be a bit dressy, but he can also go a bit. He can go a little bit. I'd probably go. I think the Presage range, the Seiko Presage range, is a very good cocktail time. Some sort of dressiness, but also with a showy off dial. With a brown, I love that chocolate brown dial, or
that
something
is a beautiful piece.
Yeah. There's some. Those dials are very special. I think the Presages are going a little bit high in price at the minute, but there are certain ones that are still at a decent price. You'd have to tell me what size wrist. Is he a weedy wrist like me, or is he a manly wrist, Joe? I mean, you can pull anything off if you've got the big wrist. But I would do a Presage because
Presage is very nice
Seiko.
choice.
You can't
So
go
that
wrong
was
with
going to run you what, $500-$600?
Yeah, I reckon.
How about something more of like a budget watch? Maybe you're still in the Seiko range though.
Well, you've got Seiko 5s, haven't you? It's the Seiko 5s.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, you've got an
I have
endless.
one here.
You've got an endless amount of what you want on your Seiko 5. You can go dressy.
Here's a Seiko 5 for you,
that's
Andrew.
The beauty. There's a sports diver for you.
Let me know if you like that one, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, what, you selling that one, Joe?
You know
you
what,
want
man?
that one?
I have 50 pieces, man. So a lot of them are going to go up for sale soon. So another spoiler alert for you guys.
Consolidation.
Yeah,
we're all doing that. Don't worry about that.
So let's do something fun here. We're talking about watches and work. Let's just shoot out a profession and let's talk about a watch that person would wear. So, what do you think a sanitation, like a garbage guy, would wear? I know garbage man isn't politically correct. So, sanitation worker, what do you think they would wear?
Well, that's a good, honest profession. I would. It's got to take a beating, hasn't it? Got to take a beating. One, two. It's going to get messy. It could get a lot of rubbish on it.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
So I reckon it's got to be a G-Shock, hasn't it? It's got to be a G.
Absolutely.
Something that takes an absolute beating, and then you can take in with the shower with you at the end of the day.
You're right.
And it's as good as new.
Thank you, Rich Watch Weirdo, for the compliment. By the way, appreciate that. You said
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Top Instagram. Check his Instagram out. He has got an unbelievable array of watches.
He also has a watch channel too on YouTube. So
he does.
He's brand new, so give him some love. The Watch Lounge. He actually does a lot of live streams. He actually recommends the G-Shock as well, along with Mr. Steven Triplett, and then Clam Walker. The Orient. I could not agree more.
I'd say that's a great. Is that Pac-Man again?
This is not Pac-Man. This is actually. That's funny. I'm surprised the Pac-Man didn't go off this time. But this is the pink the pink.
Oh, look at that! Madison's
this is a tough
favorite.
watch for $10, guys.
That's beautiful.
F91. You can get this in black too, by the way.
Beautiful watch.
Anybody who wants a really affordable beater watch, you don't need a G-Shock. You can just get an F91. So
absolutely, Senior Casio Chronicles. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. Here's an example of the Orient right here. So
beautiful. I've got an Orient Ray 2. You know, I absolutely love that watch. I mean, that is if you go for the black one as well, then you can put it on anything. You can put it on a leather strap if you want to.
Right.
It depends what your neighbour Andrew still we're talking about. Was it your neighbour Andrew?
Oh, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean he could do a dive.
You could change out straps and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have a profession for me?
Oh well, listen. Let me think about this. I will say.
And anyone in the chat down below, if you got a profession you want us to talk about, now's the time.
I've got to say, bus driver.
Bus driver.
Bus driver.
Bus driver is a.
G-Shocks are out of the question now. You can't do the G's.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah. So bus drivers a very underrated, very tough position because
there's a lot of
shaking and stuff. Yeah. So you would think that it would have to have. You know what? I'm gonna go with an underrated watch as well. We're talking to you overseas. I'm gonna bring up Matthew and Sons.
Oh yes.
Irukandju jellyfish watch.
It's the jellyfish watch.
Okay. So this is a watch that you wouldn't see ordinarily on anyone's wrist.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Very understated, kind of like a bus driver, and it's tough. And with the bumps and everything on the road, it's going to wind this watch up, so it's never going to lose time. So that's my choice,
awesome.
Man.
Absolutely
love
that case.
It's shaped like a jellyfish, man.
Yeah,
with the lugs
awesome.
And everything.
Absolutely incredible. I love their colors. So vivid.
Yeah,
amazing
they have
colors.
really fun colors, pink and purple. So we have my boss. I think we could do this all day, man. A mob boss.
Yeah,
What do you think, man? What would a mob boss wear?
Listen,
I know you have something.
Day, isn't it? Come on now. It's got to be, or a president, some sort of Rolex president, you know,
right?
Day, something like that. I would
something he stole off someone's wrist, right?
Probably might not even be real, but it's the look. It's the look, you know.
Absolutely. We have another one here. Baseball player.
Baseball player. Cool. That's a G-Shock's out of the question now, isn't it? Maybe some sort of giant Sunto on the old. Actually, you need aerodynamics, so the smaller the better when you're going through the. When you're going through the air.
If you're a baseball player playing the game, I would say definitely like a G-Shock because that's going to take a lot of beating. But what about after the game when they're celebrating their victory? What do you think a baseball player will be sporting in their Lamborghini, right?
Yeah, what are they taking home? What sort of money are they taking home?
Right.
It would probably some sort of huge Hublot. So some sort of that is some sort of Hublot that they walk around.
You know what? That's actually a lot of basketball players get into that Hublot.
Do they?
Yeah, it's a real blingy.
Soccer players.
They're big on that too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We have Richard Mille.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a tennis boy, so for Rafa Nadal wearing I think it was either £1 million watch or a £300,000 watch throughout the whole of the French Opens. Absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
But took a beating though, didn't it?
Yeah. Kind of like Timex doesn't have this saying anymore of takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
That saying.
What happened to that? What do you think happened?
Well, I don't know.
They're not living up to the hype anymore? Is that G-Shock territory now? Like, what's going on with that?
Maybe. That takes a licking but keeps on ticking is used in, I think, every single YouTube reviewer on the platform. I think if you haven't said it, and you're a YouTube reviewer, then something wrong with it.
Shame on me. Shame on me for not
you've not said that yet. Well, you said it now though, so it's
okay.
It's done. It's done.
All right, thanks, man. I might be using it in my next title though. Thanks for the advice. So I have to get into your grandfather pocket watch story because you were telling me this yesterday, and it was really heartfelt to me. And I'm gonna get the tissues out. So you want to tell the story?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I think I've shown the watch, the pocket watch, on my Instagram. I think for those of you that have seen my YouTube shows on the Rolex, exploring my granddad who passed away last year. He loved his watches. He had one special watch, which was a very old vintage 60s Rolex Explorer, which he bought pretty much new. But he always wore a watch. He wore really cheap watches when he was working. He was a carpenter and he owned his own business. He was very frugal. It's a nice way of saying tight.
He was cheap.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the refrigerator was broken, he would fix it, and he would make sure it got fixed. He wouldn't, like, me. I'd just chuck it out. Let's get a new one. Yeah.
Throw away. Right.
Yeah, exactly. He would fix things and make sure you wear them out until they are literally dead. Which and I respect a lot. But he had this pocket watch here, which is a Ascot chronometer.
That's a beauty. Is that Roman numerals on there too?
Roman numerals, blue hands.
Chronograph too, huh?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how old it is. It is pretty old. It doesn't have the subdial at the top, but as kids,
so that case, does that have that case back where it's on a hinge and you can actually see the movement?
Yeah, let me show you. So
I would love to see. That's the beauty of a pocket watch, man. I would love to see that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's awesome. It's actually ticking away as we speak.
Thank you, everyone who's chiming in, by the way, and in the comments. Yeah. We're seeing that. Thank you so much for joining us. That is a beautiful movement, my friends.
Yeah, look at it.
Wow,
it's special.
And I could hear it ticking too, man.
Yeah,
so there's something about hearing that relaxes me.
I know. Actually, blued hands. Probably iodized proper hands. And screws. But this watch we used to use all the time when we were kids. We used to time stuff. So go, and it was like we had to run around the garden and be the first one back. Obviously, I was always the first one back, and I always won. Obviously, you know, I'm one of two, so I've got a three-year-old younger brother who never stood a chance. And
see, guys, this is how he is in real life. This isn't him on camera. This is Russell live.
So this is a very special watch to me and my brother, and I just keep it here, and every time I look at it and I hold it, it just takes me back to those great days of being around my grandparents, really, and that coupled with his Rolex Explorer and his love of watches and keeping time was one of the main reasons why I'm into watches today. So
okay, excellent, man. Thank you very much for sharing that. So just checking out the comments here. And in the meantime, we'll dive into family. Get a little bit personal now. Something that we don't just discuss a lot on our channel. So kind of want to get to know you a little bit more intimately. Give the fans out there, because you definitely have a couple fans in the chat that want to get to know you a little bit. So let's talk about family.
Yeah, well, I'm happily married, have been so for 6 years, to my beautiful wife, Carly. I've got a awesome 3-year-old daughter called Martha, who just turned 3 on October the 7th.
Awesome.
So she's everything we hope for and more, really, really is. She's going through a little bit of a wah stage at the minute, but listen, the good outweigh the bad, you know.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah.
I have a man. She's 8 months now. 8-month-year-old daughter.
I've seen her grow up. I've watched her grow up on your shows.
I just said 8-month-year-old. Why did I just say that? 8-month-old daughter. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. I'm actually going to get a picture here of her.
She's an absolute cutie.
And you're right. Like on my channel, which I know is boring to some, but you know, my channel is basically for me as well. So I have to really enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it gives my daughter an opportunity to look back and see what a nut her crazy dad was. But also it's kind of like home movies, because I sneak a couple home movies in there here and there, you know.
Yeah.
So it gives me an opportunity.
When you go on holiday as well, you know, you've got videos there.
Well, I'm glad you pay attention. Thank you for thank you for doing that. So here's a very recent picture of the family. We take it off the charge. So this is us at a hibachi restaurant, and she is so well behaved.
She's a good girl.
And we got Steven Triplett here saying that she's a natural on the camera, and I couldn't agree more, man. You know, if she starts her own YouTube channel, she's going to kick my butt. She's definitely got camera presence. She's got the best personality. So
that's awesome.
So I'm not married yet, but I am happily engaged, and we're actually talking wedding as we speak. So
Nice.
I've known my fiance now for, man, I think we're going on 5 years at this point. Yeah. So it's you know, it's definitely rock solid, and she's definitely my rock, my
enabler.
My enabler, exactly. I was looking for that one, and I couldn't do this without her support. So
yeah.
All right, enough with the emotional stuff. Let's go into, what are some of your hobbies outside of YouTube? I know that you're an avid tennis player, and you're also a tennis coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm a tennis coach. I own my own tennis coaching business in the south of England. Obviously, I still write. Not only do I don't perform anymore, not at the minute, but I help write songs with a songwriting team for other musicians and other artists. So that keeps me busy. I had a goal at the start of this year to write a children's book and to do illustrations.
Wow!
I do like drawing as well.
That's awesome.
And I'll put that up on the Instagram at some point. I've got my portfolio down there, but
we have another neighbor of yours, by the way.
Honest
Watch Reviews.
Yeah, he's top guy. Great YouTube channel.
You guys can subscribe to him right there. Definitely. There you go. Shout out to him.
So yeah, I mean, what? I don't think I've got any other time for anything else, Joe. I mean, that's a, you know.
Yeah. You know what, man? I have to be honest. YouTube is my hobby.
Yeah.
I literally enjoy YouTube.
Yeah.
And my fiance tells me this all the time. I think it's a great saying. Do what you love and love what you do.
Yeah, it's great.
It might be actually love what you do what you love, but either way, it works. And this is definitely a huge hobby of mine. I'm really enjoying just spending time with you today, sir.
Yeah, and
I'm actually honored to have you.
Likewise.
Honored, Honored instead of the way you guys spell it with the OUR.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. But the other things I do, I am pretty handy. So I actually have created somewhat of a living room from a sunroom. And I've had to rip off siding, put up drywall. I do flooring. I mean, I do it all. But I'm a master of none. So I dabble in a lot of things.
Same as me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we actually have a question here. Don't know if you missed it, but thoughts on the Artem strap and how does it fit on a smaller wrist?
Well, I personally haven't seen, I haven't felt up close the Artem straps, but I've seen your review and I've seen other watch reviewers, and from what I see, they look fantastic. They look fantastic.
So I have one right here. I must say that they are worth the money by far because, let me tell you, I actually have the Artem straps on two of my.
You have them on your big
on my big grails.
Yeah.
I actually had this one here is on my Seiko 55 Fathoms because it reminds me of what's on the Blancpain.
Okay? Yes. Yeah.
So I have a 7-inch wrist, and I'm already on the second from last hole. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this watch would be good for a wrist that would be less than, I would say, 6 3/4. Unless you start to. I mean, there is room though for another hole. So maybe 6.5.
Let me get my tool out. Come on, man.
Get your tools out. But yeah, this is my 7-inch wrist, and as you can see, I have one more hole left. So be what it may. I mean, that's just that's what it will fit. But honestly, very good quality. The packaging is second to none. I mean, absolutely. I wasn't expecting to open up a box and see a beautiful package and they're really, really great brand because the customer service is excellent. They actually gave me 3 straps to review, right?
Yeah.
And then I said to them, I was like, son of a gun, I forgot that I had an Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean, which is actually right here, on the Artem strap. Okay.
Lovely.
And nice. They said, you know what? We'll send you out another one. No problem. No questions asked.
Cool.
And on top of that, they said, we're going to sponsor a giveaway for you. So you get to keep your straps, and we're going to send out a strap, and we're going to send a handwritten note. So
good.
How cool of a company is that?
Yeah,
so,
very cool.
Thanks for the question, Bob.
The thing is that I saw on that and your review, and I saw it on other reviews as well, is they do the unboxing, and it's a surprise. Mm-hmm. Oh, what's this big box? And it's like, the presentation of the thing is fantastic as well. You don't get that.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It actually is. It is unbelievable. So just going through some of these comments here. Anybody have any thoughts on what my baby's second watch should be? Because we already know what her first watch is. All right. So good. I think maybe what do you think? Maybe she needs a dress watch. You think she needs a baby diver?
Yeah, could do, or an A159, maybe. So it's an F91, but the silver version.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe because my fiance does love her G's. She loves G-Shock. She loves Casio.
Well,
so
baby G's, G.
And you know what? She does have a collection of baby G's. I should probably do a review on that, right?
I think so. That they would be the only G's that would fit my wrist, but
really?
I cannot get myself to say, "What are you wearing? A baby G?" No, it is a G shop, but no, you know what I mean. I can't do it.
Hey Bob, So Bob asked another question, and we did discuss that. I think you were a little bit late chiming in, but that's okay. That is definitely on your list, right?
Absolutely, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm starting to consolidate as we speak, and the Speedmaster is definitely on my 2021 hit list, 100%.
You want to share your IG account for everybody? We got a request.
Not really, not to Stephen.
Okay,
no.
I wouldn't take that.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So it's IGTW 2020. I haven't changed it to the Madwatch Collector yet for reasons I don't know how to. But on my shows, I do something called Casio Corner, which basically you tag a picture of your Casio on my channel, and then I might pick it and I might showcase it in a show. But I've said my Instagram IGTW 2020 so much on my shows, I can't change it to Madwatch Collector at the minute, because that means all the shows I've done will confuse people because they won't be able to find it. So it's IGTW 2020. But,
thank you so much.
That's cool.
Let's talk AliExpress watches and reissue watches. I've actually had some people comment, is it safe? And to be honest with you, me living in the US, I didn't even think that I could even get onto AliExpress, because I always thought, based off of what I've seen on YouTube and whatnot, that it was a Amazon for overseas.
Yeah.
So I never touched it until recently. And guys, it is legit. I have quite a few watches from AliExpress. The At Ease one here that I just did a review on.
Yeah,
this is from AliExpress. $20 watch, guys.
Look at that, Luminox all over that one.
I know, right? Yeah, it's totally a Luminox homage for $20. Yeah. But yeah, so it definitely is legit. So we want to talk a little bit about AliExpress watches, some of your favorites, some basic stories that you might have.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have not. Obviously, I've gone on the website and I've checked it around and had a look, and I haven't actually personally bought anything from there. But Glenn Reynolds was on the chat. He actually purchased a Lorient Submariner through AliExpress and had it sent directly to me. So I basically got the package as if it was sent, as if I bought it from AliExpress. He had his fingers and his toes crossed to hoping that he was going to get a good one. This is the whole thing of AliExpress. Maybe not Ali himself, but the companies on there. Is it going to be a good one? Am I going to get a good one? Am I going to get a bezel that's fallen off? Am I going to, Am I going to get a handset that, I can't twist on the crown? So, I mean, that's the only thing, the only issue that I can see is you get what you pay for at the end of the day. Glyn paid £56 for a Lorient Submariner, which is a Submariner homage.
Yeah, it's a really good looking watch.
Listen, if you look at my video, I was pretty impressed. I couldn't see much wrong with it. It had an NH35. No, it didn't. It had I can't remember what it had in it. It might have had a seagull movement in it, but it was an automatic movement. The bezel was great. It was a 200-meter diver. Well, it said it. It was chronometer certified. No, probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. But so yeah, it looked like a Rolex Submariner, just with Rolex taken off and Lorient stuck on.
Right.
I've handled Rolex Submariners. I've handled a Hulk, and I've handled a recent reference of the Submariner. Obviously, there's a huge difference in feel and weight and everything, and just the look and everything, obviously.
Yeah.
But for what you get, you cannot argue about it, Joe. You can't argue.
Well, I want to ask you, why do you think Pagani Design gets so much love from the YouTube community?
I think the specs that they offer are probably the best. Jodie always says, you spread yourself really thin. You spread the butter really thin of what you get. So you get a lot of specs, but they might not be QC'd or they might not be the best of it. But you get a hell of a lot for your $50 or $60, you know. And I can't argue with the fact of the value you get if you look at the watches in the high street and you look at watches elsewhere. Obviously you don't get an original design, and that is the bone of contention, isn't it, with these things. But AliExpress, I mean, they do everything though, don't they, Joe? They don't just do watches. They do figurines. They do everything. I think
anything you want. I've even seen mobile houses sold on there.
Yeah,
they can deliver a mobile house for like $10,000-$20,000. Set it on your property. I have no idea, but man, I mean, when you say everything, they sell everything, man.
Yeah.
And you know what my big problem with them is, they seem to really get they put a lot of products in there that are very inappropriate. So you might be looking at watches at one point, and all of a sudden you're seeing like women's lingerie, and you're seeing.
Tell me the website again. Tell me. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it's almost like spamming you. You know, like it has nothing to do with watches, but yet they're spamming you with different products that really shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
it kind of goes off on a tangent, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult when you've got basically a shopping mall online, isn't it? And it's almost this is what we've wanted it to be, but it's a different animal now. It's taken over. We can't stop it. We can't stop who's on it. But yeah, so you know that you can get an amazing value something on there, though. You know, there's YouTube shows on best gadgets on AliExpress, or best tableware or spoons, any sort of thing. You know, AliExpress. You know, there you go. I mean, I think I think you get what you pay for at the end of the day. If you get a good one, smash in. You know.
Well, I think like what you said, I mean, you know, sometimes you get what you pay for. Sometimes you get a little bit more for what you pay for. Sometimes you get a little bit less. The Watch Lounge here, he actually just did a Cadison review. The watch looked nice, but it was huge. It was very, very big and
this
gaudy.
This is what I don't understand. You know? I don't understand. That sometimes the homages are like 5 millimeters bigger
than...
But they're exact copies. You know, but you've shot yourself in the foot. You know, there's obviously not copyright issues with completely copying a case or a Rolex Submariner or whatever, or a Mega Speedmaster or a Railmaster. But why have you got 10 mil bigger on the case? I don't understand. But obviously there are risks that fit that. But
I think they're going for the masses, and I think there's a lot of people out there, obviously, that like the bigger watches, but it's not the true watch enthusiast, though. It's not us.
Yeah.
You know, because I know when I first started wearing watches, I didn't know much about watches, so I was wearing the 50 millimeter watches that were way too big for my wrist. I mean, I was basically Flavor Flav, but taking that clock and putting it on my wrist.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that they're trying to appeal to the non-watch enthusiast and trying to take that market a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's just my thought. But you have any thoughts on the San Martins? Mr. Christopher Schuster here.
Hello, Christopher.
I've heard a lot about San Martin. They look like they have really nice lume.
Yeah.
They have that one with the huge wave. The whole dial's lit up. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely. That's the actual picture of the actual wave.
Yeah, I forget what it's from, but I know it's like.
I know that Honest Watch Reviews, he knows, he's got that watch.
Yeah.
Honest Watch Reviews, here
he is right
he's
here.
Bought a lot of stuff from AliExpress.
Yes.
He's the one that knows about AliExpress.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he's a pro AliExpress boy, so I'd always trust in someone like him, because he gets a lot of stuff.
Agreed.
From that. But San Martin, it's another one of those great spec watches, isn't it? I think I think they're great. They're great to look at. They're great looking. I haven't actually handled one yet. But for what you get for your money, again, if it's anything like the Loreo that I've had in, the Loreo haven't been going on for too long. It says it's been going for 1996, but I'm not sure about that.
The great wave of Kanagawa.
It's Kanagawa, yes. So the Kanagawa wave, the wave that's sort of you sort of think that's on the back of a Seiko SKX or the Seiko diver. But yeah, the Kanagawa wave.
Thank you for chiming in, by the way.
Thank you for that, man. Thank you.
Any opinion on Zelos? Because I've seen a lot of Zelos watches on Instagram. They look like the real deal.
They look special. They look very good. I mean, when they first came out, it's just huge watches that I didn't really think much of, only because of the size, and I saw them on reviewers' wrists.
Right.
And there are absolutely cult fans of Zelos watches. They've done smaller case designs recently, and they look like the Seiko, we want Seiko to be now. Basically, they took a blueprint of Seiko and they've made it their own,
and they hired some quality control and
absolutely
took care of those Seiko issues.
Yeah. Right? No misaligned bezel on the Zelos.
Exactly. So any particular reissue watches that come to mind that you really enjoyed this year? Reissue
watches. I guess the ones that I've seen are the Longines Heritage range. They're pretty special, aren't they? Yeah, they are very nice. I love the Conquest, which is basically a very plain, I think it's a 36 or 35, 34 millimeter dial, very, very 50s dial, just beautiful champagne dial.
Definitely not for everybody, for sure.
Definitely not for everyone.
That one's too small for me personally, but it is definitely goes along with the 50s vibe. I mean, that's how big the watches were back in that day. So
huge thing back in the size.
For me personally, I would say the Timex reissues, the Batman, right? The Q series.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, very cool.
Very cool, right?
Yeah, very hard to get to start with, weren't they? I mean, they were.
Yeah, they're very hot watch, man. And they're actually, if they haven't already come out with them, so they started off with the quartz.
Yeah.
Now they have the automatics, or if they're coming out with
Batman,
automatics.
Don't they? They have the Batman version.
They're also doing a Snoopy version of that too.
Are they?
How cool is that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Me, I'm a big Snoopy fan. Let me see if here we go. Yeah, right there.
Love it. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. So what I wanted to finish the show off on is something that has nothing to do with watches. So let's watch. So we have 16 people on now. Let's see what happens when we put this banner up. Saturday morning cartoons, WWF, and 80s music. So we're both 80s boys. I was born in 78. You were born in 80?
80, yeah.
So we both, it's my favorite decade of all time. I don't know about you. I think you can speak on that.
I think as cartoons, toys, and everything goes, I think 80s is the best. I'm more have a fondness for the 90s, for the music, possibly. For me, being in a band and obviously Oasis and the Britpop era, that the 90s were quite a special decade for me for music. But in terms of growing up in the 80s and it was special time for cartoons. For
we have a He-Man fan here, Glenn Reynolds.
Absolutely. Yes, He-Man. Absolutely loved He-Man. I had Grayskull. I had Skeletor. We had a thing where my brother, bless him, he always had the baddies of all the action figures that we got as a family. And I don't know when that started, and I don't know why it started, but I think it's because I'm the older brother, so I wanted, I had He-Man, but he had Skeletor. And he had the Beast Man, which was that furry, fluffy one. He had all the baddies, and I had the goodies. I had Cringer, and I had Adam, and obviously He-Man. Grey Skull. I remember playing that. I've got vivid memories of playing that.
I actually had the Castle Grayskull with the
Yes.
figurines, and they actually had remember the trapdoor?
Yeah, remember the trapdoor. Yeah.
So I mean, definitely brings back a lot of memories.
I'm a huge Thundercats fan. I was a huge Thundercats. So it's like the more modern-y He-Man. We're going up, and I had Battle Cat. I had everything. I didn't have the base, the HQ, but I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, I had all the Thundercats, and obviously Turtles. I mean, I'm a huge Teenage Mutant hero. Turtles. Yeah, we were hero back here. I don't know why.
What was your favorite turtle? Mine was Raphael.
I'm a Raphael and Leonardo fan, so
okay.
So I love the Raphael in the first movie. He was the one that you want to do anything. What are you doing? You know, he had sort of like a bit like your accent, my friend. What are you doing? No,
hey, how you doing? Yeah, what's going on?
How you doing? Yeah, and I loved and sort of Leo was a little bit wetter in the movies.
Right.
But I love Leo from the cartoons. Obviously, I had Leonardo, I had Raphael, and my brother had to have Donatello and Michelangelo. You know, he had to have them, and Shredder.
Shredder.
Yeah,
I love Shredder. Yeah. Good the old rat.
Absolutely. I've recently really obsessed again with 80s WWF. As you can see, the Honky Tonk.
The Honky Tonk Man. Yep, you're bringing back some memories there, man.
The Honky Tonk Man there.
We have a couple people here in the comments. Sergeant Slaughter and the Ultimate Warrior.
Absolutely. Ultimate Warrior. Just a fantastic sort of like image of the 80s. What an absolute icon. You know,
what were some of your favorite wrestlers besides?
He's probably as nuts as I was, to be honest, but he might have been on some sort of roid at the time. So
before we even knew what roids were, or at least they became popular.
Absolutely.
Or should I say before they became illegal? Because
exactly.
You know,
exactly.
All of a sudden,
Hulk Hogan took his vitamins, didn't he?
Right.
He took it.
Yeah.
And then as he was taking those vitamins, he was also taken from the top shelf somewhere else, wasn't he? So just to keep
a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But Hulk Hogan's the man.
Iron Sheik,
yeah.
Jake the Snake was one of my favorites. I always thought that Jake the Snake and Rick Rude looked very similar, even though they didn't have similar physiques. And it was probably just a stupid mustache that, you know, as a kid, I figured every guy with a mustache looked the same.
Rick Rude had probably the most perfect body. You know, let's talk about bodies here. His body was absolutely insane, but he had a weird boat race, didn't he? He had a weird, that huge mustache, and actually he had very similar. It just needed to be a bit longer here. And
he had like the mullet. He had the 80s mullet.
He had the mullet.
But yeah, he did. He had a great six pack. You know, something that, you know, all of us, at least when we were in our 20s, aspired for. Now that we're 40, we could care less. We care more about pumping up our bank accounts. But we have another one here, British Bulldog.
Oh
man, we're bringing back some memories here, man.
How Bret the Hitman Hart sort of pulled him through SummerSlam '92 at Wembley. I think it was '92.
Right.
He was off his face on drugs, drinking, everything. I've seen all that, and I absolutely love that.
I don't think a bigger WrestleMania could be said, except for the one where. Let me start over again. I think one of the biggest WrestleManias has to be Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. I mean, come on, right? Yeah, the way he picked him up like that. I mean, that guy. He was Andre the Giant was over 7 foot. He might have been like 7'1", and he weighed. He was overweight.
He tore a bicep.
He had to.
Yeah, he tore a bicep doing that lift. But the thing was with Hulk and Andre. Hulk was very nervous because he didn't know what Andre was going to do. he didn't know whether Andre was going to show him up or make him look silly, because Andre he could just do, "What are you doing?" And he could basically put his hand on his head and sort of twist his head off. But for the good of the company, he was amazing. He just said, I think he just whispered to him or shouted, "Slam me, slam me." And it's just Hulk Hogan just, "Let's go, brother," and, whoa, and down. That right. Leg drop, oh, it's amazing. Amazing. I mean, we all know it's fake, but it's just so good and it's fun. It's so fun to watch.
So here's the thing. As much as wrestling is indeed scripted, those injuries, man, they're not fake.
They put a lot of they beat their bodies.
They beat their bodies to death, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they are hitting each other. I mean, I know sometimes they'll hit the mat first and then they'll not hit them in the face, but there's a lot of times those slaps are real. Yeah. When they hit the mat, that's actual wood, and it's not like there's a spring underneath there. So I mean, all this stuff hurt. I mean, backflips off the top rope. I mean, these guys are sacrificing their bodies. I mean,
and also the same routine would have been done for the next 3 days in a row. So we would see the televised version, and then they'd go play a show in Chicago, and then they go play a show in Detroit. You know, exactly the same show, doing the same thing on their body. No wonder why Hulk has had knees, new hips, new back, new mustache, new nose, everything, Oh, crikey. They put their body through a hell of a lot.
They really do. So, I mean, I have a huge respect. And a lot of them obviously turn to drugs and alcohol.
To get through the pain.
They had to self-medicate. You don't watch too much of it. As well. You don't watch too much of it today, right?
I don't. I can't connect with it at all. I really can't connect.
Same here, man. I mean, I can't connect with a lot of things that were in the 80s that they still have today. I just can't connect anymore. Which brings me to the music. I'm a huge 80s fan. I mean, I have a Pandora account that it's always on music, always on 80s. Culture Club was a big one.
Cool.
Bananarama, what is it? Roxette. I mean, I can just go on and on, man. I mean, it's what are some of your favorite 80s? Because I know you actually met the one-time, what do you call it? One-time wonder, Rick Astley?
Rick Astley, yeah.
You have a story behind that one?
Yeah. We played, supported him in a show one time. Never sort of met him. Supported Nick Kershaw in a show. Who's the other guy? Chesney Hawkes. We did. Okay. I am the one and only. Okay. You know that song, which was written by Nick Kershaw. We supported him. Over the years, I've supported many sort of artists that I've really looked up to over the years. But the 80s music. I mean, when I look back on it, I don't think I was really into the music. I mean, Duran Duran, I love their music now, and I appreciate the music now. But at the time, I don't think I was into music, and I'm not sure my mum and dad were that much. My dad was a sort of like he was a Bowie fan, David Bowie and the Beatles, and mum was Motown and the Osmonds.
Wow.
And
I know all of them too, by the way.
Yeah, those sorts of that sort of music I sort of got brought up with. A
lot of diversity there, man.
Yeah. Well, my dad played a bit of the guitar, strumming, and he liked the Who. He played Pinball Wizard. I've always got memories of him playing Pinball Wizard to me.
So let me ask you something. That pinball sound effect, does that have anything to do with that?
Sure, plays a mean pin. No, it's.
Is that paying homage to your father?
It pays homage to my brain. What's going inside my brain at that time? It's just a nice, energetic, it's got a backdrop of the 80s stuff, and I just thought pinball's quite 80s, and I like that. Ding 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 ding. I quite like that.
Is that what's going on inside your head?
Absolutely. I'm looking at you and I'm thinking of cheese one. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of what next watch I'm getting. You know,
Oh man.
always thinking, always
So
thinking.
getting inside of Russell's head. So that's why you do all these different takes. It's not necessarily a style. It's because you're going off on tangents this way and that. So you have to do these different camera angles, these
Absolutely,
different takes,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah. I'm definitely, if it's a slow take, then I will redo it and think, crikey, let's get some energy on here. You know?
Yeah. Well, for everybody that's joining in, I really want you guys to subscribe to my guest today. He has
Oh,
one
thank
of
you
the
very much.
most unique YouTube watch channels on the face of the earth. And I'm going to tell you something that I think I've already told you, but you inspired me to kind of go outside my comfort zone on my channel. Because at times I feel like I become like everybody else, and I try not to. Like what I try to do is I try to give people who I am behind the camera, in front of the camera, but I think I can learn a little bit from you on the entertainment side, on the energy side. So you're definitely an inspiration to me, and I think that your channel deserves a lot more viewership. So that's why I wanted you to be the first guest on my live stream, because I think you're definitely one of the most talented upcoming talents on YouTube in the watch community. So
I appreciate that, matey.
yeah.
Thank you very much. I think it comes from doing amateur dramatics at a young age and being on stage. I've done a lot of music on stage and things, and obviously, if you do YouTube, you're going to get hits from people that don't like you and things like that, and it's how you take that type of thing. And honestly, over the years, I've hardened to bad comments and bad stuff, and I usually take it on board and with criticism. And someone doesn't like my music, what? I hate them. Where do they live?
Get your knives out.
Yeah, where's
Get your
my
guns
tool?
out.
Where's my tool? No, see, so it would have been like that at an early age, but everybody's different, and I think if you don't like it, fair enough. Funny enough, on my channel, there's people that do they are that offended that they must type and say, when you are reviewing a serious piece of like a Rolex Explorer, could you please take it down a notch? But honestly, there's YouTube channels for that, my friend.
That's right.
It's like
That's right.
And if you don't like it, then stop watching. But I appreciate the fact that you did watch, and you're just keeping the viewership up.
That's right. You're engaging. You're helping the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if
and you're commenting, that helps as well. So
negative comments help the algorithm just as much as good ones. So
I think what comes across, Joe, is because we met when I was 100 subscribers, and I was very, very.
Yeah, I think you had a couple hundred actually. Yeah.
I was just gravitated to your channel because I honestly don't think there's a hell of a lot of people that I see, and I think I like to see someone that's genuine on screen, and I can imagine being the same off screen. And honestly, I feel like you're one of them, and I feel like whatever review you give is honest, is an honest review and a true reflection of how you're feeling. So
thank you. I appreciate that, man.
You
very
might
humbled.
but you might not be in you might be in your comfort zone, but honestly, sometimes it is comforting just to see a guy talking, from the heart.
Honestly, yeah,
absolutely, my man.
I appreciate that so much, man, and I think that's a good segue. Seems like we've lost some viewers, and we are at the hour point. So you are my special guest, and we do have 11 people here, so it doesn't mean that we have to shut it down. But it's up to you, my friend. What would you like to do from here?
Well, I don't know. Anyone that's watching, I like that. I think I should have honest watch reviews. I should have Mad Watch Collector, Marmite. I should have at the bottom. You have Marmite in the US?
So I was actually going to ask you, what in the world is Marmite? Is that
Marmite is like Vegemite, but so basically,
I was going to ask you, is there a similarity between the two?
Yes, it's
Okay.
like a it's
And we're
like
referring
a
to this comment right here, by the way, guys.
yes
Yeah.
from on Swatch reviews. It's like it's a yeast extract. It's from a yeast extract. It's very salty, but it's something you spread on toast. I absolutely love it. You can put it in gravy. It's a very rich taste. If you're into salt, then it's
I am.
yeah, you'd love it. You would love it.
I have
Honestly.
I have an idea. Let's do a care package. I will send you some
Oh,
Philadelphia favorites.
oh, you can't send a Philly steak and cheese sub though, can you?
I
That's what
can't I can't do that, but I could definitely send you over maybe like some tasty cakes, some pretzels.
Oh, yes, yes,
Man, I
yes.
was wondering if I could even send over like a frozen pizza scrapple, but it'd probably ruin the packaging, wouldn't it?
It might do. Yeah, it might do. It might
Oh
even
man.
before I see it. I'm definitely up for doing that, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. Giving
I
you
think that
some
would be neat.
quintessential British
Okay.
victories.
I am down. I am down for that. So, guys, we really had a good time, man.
Yeah,
This
it's been
just
fun. I mean, this hour's just
flew
flown
by,
by.
man.
Yeah.
It really did. And we had a lot of good comments down below. Very interactive, which is exactly what I like. So, thank you very much. I think the people in the chat really made the show that much better. So, I just wanted to send a huge shout out to everybody in the comments down below.
Watching, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you have any final thoughts before we send off?
No, not really. I mean, I next week, if I can get in the office, because at the minute we are in lockdown number 2 for the English. So we'll see if I can get to the office. But I'm looking forward to reviewing a CWC Mela 72 watch, which is a beautiful mechanical wind military watch.
Mhm.
And I got a gorgeous C65 Trident Christopher Ward watch for my birthday, which I'm going to do a little unboxing and a review on, and a little talk on Christopher Ward. So I'm looking forward to that. Random Rob, I do love Random Rob shows. Yes, pleasure to meet you, my friend.
He's a very established channel with
very established,
50,000 subscribers. I mean, he's
he
definitely a guy to learn
talking
from.
about.
He knows what he's talking about. The guy is dedicated. Don't know how he has the time to do it all, because he said he has a job as well.
He has a job, yeah.
A lot of respect to Random Rob, and maybe one day, hopefully, he can be on the live stream as well if I'm on it enough.
His desk is almost as busy as my table here.
He does, yeah, exactly.
Random Rob is the reason why I want to get that Seiko clock he's got on his desk. You look at his he's got an awesome Seiko clock with, I think it's Amazon. It's on my basket every time I go on Amazon. Basket, Random Rob, the Seiko clock.
We all have that, right?
Is the wife watching? Is the wife watching? Hey, oh hello darling, I'm sorry, no. And I can't do it anymore, but I will get it.
We all have that Amazon basket that we have not yet checked out. I have goods in there that have been there for probably over a year, man. It's good old Amazon. We have a comment here. Joe Lee said he just picked up a Roamer. Any thoughts? I actually have no experience, so I have absolutely no comment on that. Sorry.
No, I don't. I think I've heard the name Roamer, but no, I cannot. Not without looking. I can't. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Instagram, but no.
And Russell,
what's your thoughts on it, Joe? Do you like it, Joe?
I mean, you just said I'm an honest guy, right? I actually don't even know what a Roamer is, so I would actually have to look it up. And even if I did, I don't have any thoughts on it unless I actually can really touch it, feel it, wear it.
Absolutely.
So I don't really have an honest opinion on it. So sorry about that, but thanks for the question.
I'll look it up after this show, though, Joe.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And you know what? Let's put it in the comments below for Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
For Joe. For Joe Lee. Don't go yet. This is too much fun. So they're asking for a encore, and the viewership has actually risen. So I guess we can't go yet. Do you have time?
Well, yeah. I mean, my daughter needs a bath, so it's my turn. But
you tell me when, man.
I can stay for I can stay for a bit longer. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Well, you tell me when.
No, that's fine. I'll give you. Oh yes. That does ring a bell. Joe saying they're vintage. They are definitely vintage watches.
Yeah.
From what I've seen a 34mm sort of goldish dial with Roamer on it. But I will look up the brand because I'm not sure where they're from. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't know. We got here Adrian. Adrian has some thoughts on it. His wife actually has one, and it looks like he's got a little bit of a spell, probably a spell thing there going on, but expect from pretty much what you would expect from a Swiss brand. So he's definitely giving it a thumbs up,
Cool.
and that was supposed to say wood. So thank you, Adrian.
What's Glyn said there, Joe?
Glenn said, if you could have one watch for the rest of your life, what would you both
what
have?
are you doing?
That is
there,
an
my
excellent
friend?
question, Glenn. Thank you, man. You've been very interactive in the comments, and I appreciate that.
What is that?
So I want to have my guests go first.
That's a horrible question, Glenn. Oh, my friend.
Now, let me ask Glenn something. Are you talking about watches that we already own, or because I'll give you both versions anyway. A watch that I already have in my collection that I cannot give up, and a watch that I would buy that would be the end all. So I'll go that way. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, do that. One watch for the rest of my life. It's very hard. I would probably say my Explorer. 39mm 214-270.
Can't go wrong with that, man. Rolex.
I can't go wrong with that. That works for everything. It's sporty. It's got Paraflex hairspring, and it's got the beta potential in it, and it basically, if I wasn't a tennis coach, I would wear it every day probably. Tennis coach, I'm just a little bit weird about having a.
Yeah, I mean, if the watch wasn't so darn expensive, I mean, the watch can take a beating, but you don't want to beat up a Rolex, man. You want to.
No, I mean, I want to have memories. I want to have memories with it, and I take it out as much as I can. But on a wet, windy day in October, when I'm beating a tennis ball over a net, I mean, it will make me feel good watching it, but looking at it. But no.
Joe Lee says his Universal Geneve pole router sub MK1. That's a mouthful that I couldn't say without looking at it again. But that's another one I'm gonna have to look up, man.
The pole router.
Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't handled one, but yeah, very special watch. Is it like a two-tone? So the outside chapter ring is different color. I know Saki from Wind It on the Move had one that he sold, and I'm pretty sure TGV from the Urban Gentry had one as well. Right.
I'm actually with Honest Watch Reviews here. I would have a really hard time picking one watch, but out of my own personal collection, I have quite a few watches that
it obviously would be that Casio Pink F91W, Joe. I don't know why you're even. There it is.
This ain't mine. This is my daughter's.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm hoping that she would never give this up. But for me personally, this is a watch that my daughter gave me.
Yes, I've seen this review.
It came in a special box for Father's Day.
Yes.
Okay. So this watch stays in the box. So this is one watch I would never give up. So I know that you guys are probably expecting a multi-$1,000 watch. Well, it's not about the money, guys. It's about the emotion, the feeling, the connection you have with a watch, and the meaning behind it. And there's nothing more meaningful than a watch from your baby daughter, who wasn't even old enough to click the Amazon shopping cart to get it. But I still appreciate the fact that Mommy helped her out on that. So
yeah. I mean, if I had one watch, what would I'd obviously have to appease my collecting elsewhere, wouldn't I? Crikey, I'd probably go guitars, and then we go in. Where can I store all the guitars? I've already got two, got a ukulele as well. But
you know what? Speaking of guitars, what do you think about that Hamilton Ventura, the triangled looking watch that Elvis made popular? What do you think about that, the Ventura? It was seen in Men in Black as well.
Well, that's when I first saw it. Was on Men in Black. I really like it. It definitely would not suit me. It definitely. To me it's a dressy watch. I'm pretty sure it's a polished all over watch, but the shape of it just is, even though it's unique, I think it's quite a dress piece, and I couldn't see myself ever wearing one. But it's an awesome. I mean,
It's
Hamilton overall were just
very, very unique
ridiculous.
piece, and you're a very unique guy, so I thought you might be all over that, but I was afraid that it was a little bit too dressy. So Hamilton, if you can do a dress down version,
Yeah, come on. I want a satinized case.
I think you might have a buyer right here. So
absolutely.
We have a question up here. This is for you because I don't play guitar. I only know of a few guitar brands, but this is just definitely a question for you, man.
Well, when I basically got my guitar of my dreams, my Grail guitar, it was a and it's a beautiful guitar. I mean,
you actually cut out there. Can you say that again?
It's a Rickenbacker 330.
Okay.
So it was in Montezuma sunburst. So it's like a wood sunburst finish. It's a Beatles guitar basically. It's a George Harrison looking guitar. It's a semi acoustic electric guitar, and oh my god, it was absolutely beautiful. And I sold it. I stopped being in a band, and I put the money towards a jumbo Gibson J45, which is an acoustic guitar, which is my absolute baby. I've written a lot of songs on that guitar. So probably would be Gibson for its heritage, its history,
right,
and its sort of Beatles connections and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for that question, bud. Anyone else has any questions, please put them in the chat below.
Cool. You've got 5 minutes, everyone.
5 minutes, guys.
5 minutes.
The
daughter needs a wash.
She needs a wash or a watch?
She needs she might be getting something from Father Christmas that is a lot like what Madison's got. Let me put it that way.
Okay. All right. I got you.
So, yeah.
So we definitely had a lot of great conversation today. We're actually going on 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it feels like it's only been a half hour. What do you say, Nate?
Cool. We've got to do part 2 then, haven't we, Joe? Surely.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make you a deal here on the channel. Let's do part 2 on your channel.
Cool. I'm up for that. All
right. So you're not monetized yet, but when you get monetized, we definitely, you get monetized for these live streams.
Yeah.
Not as much as you would on a regular video, but I don't do this for the money. I mean, this is fun, man. This is total fun. So it looks like Honest Watch Reviews has a question here. Oasis versus hold on. Here we go. Oasis versus Blur.
It's got to be Oasis for me. I mean, I absolutely love Blur, but Oasis. I'm a Beatles man, so we've got homage. We've got homage to the Beatles in Oasis, and it was Morning Glory, the album. It was actually definitely. It was what was it? I can't remember This is embarrassing. Be Here Now. So it's the album Be Here Now. When I was 17, and I was starting to write my own songs. That album for me, obviously, you've got the Definitely Maybe and the What's the Story, Morning Glory were absolutely fantastic albums. But Be Here Now for me is a special album for me in my growing up and my inspiration for writing songs. So yeah.
Well, it looks like you have a subscriber here, buddy. Random Rob is going to subscribe to you right after this live.
Random Rob, I appreciate that, my friend.
So my mission was accomplished today because I wanted to get you at least one subscriber. Didn't think it was going to be one of YouTube's greats.
Absolutely.
Watch channel. So congrats on that.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
So, and it looks like here we have Glenn. I watch Crimson Guitars on YouTube. It's fun. He's a watch guy too, and trying to spot what he's wearing each day of his builds. So.
I like it. There's definitely a similarity. Obviously, if you collect in watches, you collect. There's a lot of car collectors, isn't there? People into cars with watches. And
those channels blow up, man.
Yeah.
You want a YouTube channel that's going to blow up, but you also need a ton of money. Start a car YouTube channel.
I can't see my Kia Sportage getting too many views on the old YouTube at the minute, but
if you did what I did with the Casio Chronicles, you might. You just start putting it through torture tests. But if that's your daily driver,
I did run over a G-Shock 5600 with it.
You did.
You did. The car is famous.
That was a good video, man. So for anyone that's just chiming in, please go over to the Mad Watch Collector on YouTube. This guy has an incredible YouTube channel, got a lot of energy, and as you can see, he is no different live than he is in front of the camera with a typical episode. He is a genuine guy. I actually had the honor to talk to him yesterday prior to, and he is exactly what I thought he would be.
Without drugs.
Without drugs.
Maybe coffee.
And I was saying to him, I was like, I know you just said you just turned 40 years old. The guy looks like he's definitely in his upper 20s. God bless him. And of course, I had to bust his stones and ask him if he's wearing a wig because I'm jealous of that hair. I mean, geez,
Well, I'm just very, very happy that I've still got any sort of hair. My mum's dad lost it very early on. I actually got these sort of like this receding hairline when I was very young. And I used to get teased that I was going to go bald.
Here I am. Here. Yeah. This is me with no makeup, right, guys? I got the receding thing going on, right? A little bit. Yeah. This is live and unedited, fellas. So that's what happens on a live show. We start showing our hairline.
Yeah, look at this. This hair. Oh my word. Usually 25 minutes just to buff it up before I go on the shows.
Real quick. So, are you guys into cars as well as watches? And if so, which cars?
I'm not. No, I've never really been into cars. I'm not really hands-on on cars and things like that. I do appreciate them, obviously, but as long as they get me from A to B without me calling out for the AA, I think I'm not bothered really. Obviously, I appreciate one going past. On the motorway, on the roads, and I've been inside Teslas, and I've been inside Lamborghinis, and I've been inside some special. Me being a tennis coach, I tend to work with some people that are nice well off, and I get the Audi. I can't remember what the cars are called, but yeah, I appreciate them definitely, but not into them as such. I'll tell you what I'd love though. I'd love a Mustang. I do love the Mustangs.
That's good old fashioned American muscle, man. The good old pony car.
Yeah.
So
literal horsepower.
So I actually say that I have a Mustang and a tuxedo. All right. So can anyone guess what that would be below? It's probably not because it's kind of out there. But I have a Lincoln MKZ. It's a 3.0 twin turbo. It's got 400 horsepower. So yeah, whoa. I love cars. Yeah. I didn't want to get the Mustang because everybody's got one. But I wanted something that could basically compete in a race. I mean, my car goes 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. I mean, it's a quick
good
car, all-wheel drive.
Because my car goes 0 to 60 in 17 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But you know what? I'm not going to knock on Kia. My fiance has a Kia.
I love it. It's a 7-year warranty.
It's a Sorento, and I'll tell you what, she sold me on Kia. I actually like that car a lot. Very reliable car and drives nice. Yeah, and the SUV is a 4-cylinder, and the thing pulls. I mean, and gets great gas mileage, so I can't knock it. No. Back in the day, I had a 3000 GT Mitsubishi. Remember those?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But unfortunately, I didn't have the twin turbo. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You completely lost me there.
Mitsubishi.
Hey, no. Joey Bible just joined in the chat. He actually was in the Casio Chronicles. Awesome. Welcome. And then we have Watch Lounge saying definitely some sleepers there. So, and my fiance, she approves of you, man. She likes you. She say we definitely need to hang out. So. If we ever fly overseas, man,
you come to sunny old Southampton.
Yeah, I hope you have a flat for us. I know I'm saying that out of context.
Oh, that's
but,
good. Yeah. No, That's absolutely. There's a lovely shed I've got, Janie, outside. I'm
Make sure
pretty
you
sure
have
I
some Vegemite for me as well.
there'll be some Marmite. There's some Marmite for you, and I'll put a futon in there, Jenny. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
That is awesome, man. Is your 5 minutes up now, bud?
I've got to go. Yeah, but
Yeah, I want to respect your time, so I want to
thank
thank
you very
you,
much,
everybody who chimed in. Thank you to Russell for joining us.
Absolute pleasure.
We're going to do a part 2 on your channel, then, right?
Part 2, absolutely.
All right, you got
Should
a
we
deal,
do it
man.
after? We'll do it after our care packages.
You know what, man? I'm going to leave that completely up to you. If
Okay,
you want to do it next week, you want to do it next month, it's completely up to you. I had a lot of fun, so.
Okay, man.
All right,
Brilliant.
guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. And remember, there's always time to be kind to one another. Take care of each other. God bless. See you guys next time.
See you, team.